What is up, YouTube? Welcome. Today, I am going to do another rant because I'm in a weird spot right now. I've showed off most of the collection. Want to try some new stuff. I have some other stuff planned. I will be doing an interview with a band, Eternal Dread, but that we didn't schedule that till the 20-something, probably come up a few days after, so gotta find something to post in the middle, because I still wanna post. This is a passion project. So I just figured I'd rant again. I don't know, kind of like J-Dog or other people. As you can see, hair's a bit messy, but I came out of the shower, so it's clean. That's something a lot of black metal fans can't do, is take a shower. So one up them there. But something just really came to mind, and it's like, what's up with these tours? There's maybe 3 tours and I think one or 2 gigs. Gigs all right, but at least tour wise, that are coming my way. But here's the thing: they're like, I'm only going for 1 or 2 bands. Where's the tours where I'm going for all 4 bands? Regurge, tour, find a way, please. Like, when was the last time there was an actual, like, killer tour? I mean, last year, because this is January 1st, recording this, we had some alright tours. I mean, the Belphegor one was pretty good, but Hate couldn't make it, so it could have been better. And then, of course, the whole Carnival of Death tour. I mean, Vader was good, but Cataclysm, they don't play their demos or the first 2 albums, so Cataclysm went from that really great death metal to more or less Pantera, but with more death metal influence, which is, it's okay, but man, this is like dad metal. I mean, it's heavier than Five Finger Death Punch, but I feel like a Five Finger Death Punch fan might like Cataclysm. So yeah. And then, of course, Malevolent Creation, the only original member, lead singer guy, he just dropped out. I mean, the covering members weren't bad, but it was a cover band at that point. I mean, there's no original members, so because I mean, I took one of my CDs to get signed, and I find out the dude's not there, and it's like, well, I'll just leave this in the car. But like, what's going on with these tours, man? We'll get like 1 good or 2 good bands, and then you got some shitters in there, like not like bands you just don't like. Like, I mean, like deathcore, like what was that with what was it, Dying Fetus and Cradle of Fit? Well, no. What was that? Wasn't there a recent tour? Or is there a new one coming up where it's like Dying Fetus and the rest it's all deathcore bands? Like, what's up with that? Where's a tour with just nothing but raw death metal? Last one I can remember was that Cannibal Corpse and Immolation, and of course, Dark Funeral and Black Anvil. That was the last one. Like, well, I mean, it was 50-50, so I wouldn't even call that fully death metal, because, half is black, but, like, what happened to these tours, man? Like, why can't, like, just a bunch of death metal bands go on tour? It's always 1 or 2 death metal bands, and then we got some deathcore, or we got some black metal, which, I mean, that's okay. Black metal's great, but that's all I ever see. That's another thing. That's all I ever see is death metal and black metal bands. I've never seen any grindcore bands. When are the grindcore bands gonna go on tour? All right, I mean, there's a lot of good grind out there, like Sulfuric Cutlery, to name one of them. Fucking love that shit. They got a new album that came out like 1 or 2 months ago, something like that. I've never seen any grind bands. I haven't seen any porno grind either. Do I need to go to the Czech Republic to see these bands? I mean, like, where is the variety and where is the roughness and toughness? You know, we get one or two acts mixed in with some bullshit. That's all we get now. Like I said, the 3 tours I'm going to aren't heavy hitters like the Cradle of Filth and Suffocation. I'm going for Suffocation. Granted, there's only one original member, but who else is going to play League and Veracity live? Nobody. So that's why I'm going, because I love that song, and it's the only way to hear it live. But, I mean, Ghost Bass on there, they're okay, but yeah, the other 2 bands, I mean, I'm not even a big fan of Cradle. So, and then, oh, there's another tour that's got Undeath on it. I like Undeath, but the rest of the bands on the bill suck. Isn't, like, Arcspire heading that or something? I don't know. They suck. They suck. I mean, I can go into another rant about all this fake. Yeah, I'm saying fake. Tech death. They're just deathcore bands. Let's go on about that. Now, I'm not naming names. I've talked about this with quite a few different people. But if some people see this, they might think that I'm mad at them. No, I'm not. I'm just bringing up the topic at large, because let's see, this goes back to a couple shows. This was like 2 years ago. I met this guy, right? He's talking about tech death. So I'm like, okay, what about Spawn of Possession, Nile, Beyond Creation? And this dude's like, oh, those bands are okay, but I like Infuri. I got the tattoo right here on my arm. The fuck? Infuri's deathcore, man. Like, just listen to it. It sounds exactly like deathcore. You play this right next to Suicide Sound, you got the same band. They'd probably open for you. I bet if you go on Spotify and you go down to similar artists, it's going to show some deathcore, I'm sure. And that's not the only band that's like that. Arcspire, another band. Sure, their drummer's pretty drummy or whatever, I don't know. But it's just deathcore. But they label it as tech death to try and crawl out of that deathcore field, you know? Hey, we're one of the real guys. No, you're not. And you just gotta listen to it. I mean, seriously, just listen to it. Compare them. You'll notice it instantly. I mean, because like I said, there is some good tech, like Beyond Creation and Spawn of Possession, and there's probably a shitload more bands I'm forgetting. But it's like, hello, because half these people are acting like it is the best stuff, and it's like it's literally just deathcore, man. You're glazing that, because there's dudes like that. Like I said, I spoke to a guy, and you know, I mentioned a good amount of technical death metal bands that are, you know, technical death metal. You know, like Anata's another one. I show that CD off. I love that album. And they come in here talking about Infuri, and it's like, no. There's the door, buddy. Don't let it hit you on the way out. I don't understand how people can't obviously tell. Now, granted, this is all my opinion, but I mean, come on. I can't be the only one thinking this. I can't be. Like, because years ago, when I was getting into metal, I remember checking out Infuri. And back then, I liked some deathcore because, well, I mean, I'm not even sure if I knew the Tish yet. I might have, but like 1 or 2 songs. You know, because that stuff's, you know, it's underground. It's hard to access. Deathcore is, you go to YouTube, you search up metal. It's all deathcore. So if you're, you know, first day in, oh, let me check out this metal. Let me go to YouTube. That's all you're going to get. And you wouldn't know any better because you've never heard of it, any of it before. You know, you would think that this is the stuff. And then you listen to it. And then you start meeting you start finally checking out the real stuff, and then I'm like, oh, that's way better. That's what it was with me. You know, it was all that stuff, but then I started going under, you know, and all the death metal and stuff, and you know, I remember listening to Cannibal Corpse and Massacre, and I was like, holy crap, these songs actually stay stuck in my head. These songs outshine deathcore and metalcore, and that's why I don't like any of that stuff anymore. But I know it when I hear it. Because half these dudes, who, you know, like J-Dog, he's never listened to any of it, so, you know, his judgment on it, if it is or isn't, is probably not as good as mine because I listened to it. But that's only because I thought that's what metal was. But then I delved deeper. I, you know, quit bothering with Spotify because they only want to recommend you just shitty bands. And, you know, like the real stuff just stuck. It was only stuck in my head. It was way more catchier, and it just, I liked it way more. And so I quit listening to deathcore, and I've seen some deathcore bands live, and they don't hold up at all to death metal bands. This is coming all from being there. So, because that's the problem, is half the deathcore kids are like, oh, well, like, you're just a hater, you know, like, and it's like, no, I've been on both sides. I see it fully now. I have the full picture. The real stuff is better. Death metal is better. Deathcore is watered down death metal. Watered down anything sucks. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So, yeah. I'm tired of those fake tech death bands. They are deathcore bands. And Fury, Arcspire, The Faceless. You ain't it. But yeah, I just, because that's the thing, is those bands like to, you know, latch on to bigger, real death metal bands, and it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Because I ain't trying to see that. I mean, I'm trying to go out and see stuff, but half the time I'm just showing up for one or two bands and I'm leaving, and I don't really like doing that. I'd like to see a full bill. I have, you know, seen a full bill plenty of times, but it's like, I would like to be a full bill or just all killer, no filler. I don't feel like I'm asking for much with that one. Really, I don't think I am. But there's a lot of factors, especially with bands not in the States, because the goddamn Orange Man, that ain't my president. That son of a bitch. So, you know, but things will change, but yeah, that's getting annoying. But I will say, on the other flip, my local gigs, you know, one-off shows, they've been picking up around here. There's been some pretty good gigs, so at least that's going good for my scene. The local band called Tomb Seeker, there's a lot of bands involving tombs, but oh well. I know the lead singer guy. His name's John something. He's an April Mist as well. That's a great black metal band. I think I've showed it. They got signed to Iron Fortress, and that's awesome because Iron Fortress put on a gig here, which surprised me. And then of course, you know, they closed because I think they were gonna open, but one of the guys couldn't get there on time or some sort of delay, so they just played last. But it was a really good gig. That's where I got to see an Iron Fortress. It was also a maggot. It was Dying Remains, yeah, which I thought was pretty decent. But yeah, they were there. Now they got signed. Now a new album's coming out on there. That's sick. I will be picking that up. And they have a gig here, I think on the 20-something. I think it's a Friday. So I will be going to that. Oh, that'll be the first show this year that I go to. But, yeah. Looking forward to that. So it's Tomb Seeker. That's some underground stuff. Well, everyone's got an underground scene. You know, it's the local bands. Every band is local to somebody. So, I mean, I'd love to have regurgitation in my backyard, but I don't. But that's just how it is. But let me know in the comments, guys. What's up with these tours? What do you think about these tours, man? When was the last time you saw a tour where all four or more bands were all killer, no filler? It was all death metal. It was all crazy, you know. No new bullshit. No deathcore bands trying to sneak in. You know, nothing. No, just a killer lineup, you know. Because I feel like it's festivals are the only things you can go to. But those are hit or miss because they'll have like one day of real death metal and the next day is all bullshit. Of course, you know, there's J-Dog's Festival, which I still don't know how I feel about that. I feel like part two is just missing the big band. I know Denial has never played here. I get that. But I just feel like it's missing something. Like if there was just Deicide playing, then I think that would be perfect. Because that's the thing. I still feel like, although most of those bands are underground, nobody knows where From the Depths are, whatever. They just, I don't know. It just, if they feel too much like opening bands, but maybe not like the first ones to open. Some of them are kind of like co-headliner bands. You just need something that's big enough, that's encased enough that everyone knows, and that is worth to go and see. Not saying other bands aren't worth it. If you really like them, then sure. But I feel like it's missing something, and I'm not saying it has to be Deicide, but it's just the first band I could think of that if that were on the bill, then I would have already bought my tickets. Because like I feel like I can't be the one saying this too, but I really feel like he's missing something on that festival. Just something really big that's still pretty underground. Like, hell, even if Immolation, I'd totally be there. But I just feel like he needs one more band. But I don't know. He's probably gonna. If J-Dog ever sees this, he's been calling me a fucking poser or whatever, a hoagie, whatever he says. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. That stuff always. It's all the fake deathcore bands, or sorry, fake tech death bands, and these mid-ass tours. What is up with that? And it feels like things are only getting worse. There's like 5 shows announced for me that I may or may not go to. Why, just a few years ago, by this time of the year, there was already at least almost 10 I was looking forward to. Like, people just not doing shows. Is there something we ain't seeing here? I know it's not cheap, but is there like a really big crisis going on that we don't know about? That, or I just gotta move. That might be it too. Maybe I should just move. But yeah, I don't know. That's just the stuff that rubs me the wrong way, and yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Like I said, this is just a rant video, kind of. But yeah, I do have things planned coming to this channel. Check out the previous videos I haven't. The death metal stuff's up. I find it crazy how part 1 has 300 views, which is like the biggest video on my channel apart from that Unmerciful short. And the second video has only got 100. What are we doing here, people? I only made it 2 parts. I wasn't dragging it super long. I blasted all over Instagram. Oh, that's not the thing I want to rant about. I wanted to go on Reddit, because there's metal communities on Reddit. More people, advertise. Every damn metal page is like, no posting this, and that. And it's like, how the hell are we supposed to support each other? How are we supposed to get the word out? No self-promotion. Fuck that. Okay, I get it if some guy is trying to sell some shitty patches, I don't know. But like I feel like I'm not making money off this. There's not enough views. Just supporting the metal community. But that was pissing me off, because I was looking around at a lot of the big subs, and it's like, man, I can't advertise anywhere. Like, how am I supposed to get this stuff out there? I'm not saying I need to be like Mr. Beast. I don't want to be that big, but it's like I'm just trying to reach the metal community, the people, and it's hard, because Snapchat ain't gonna work. Blue Sky probably ain't gonna work. Where else can I post it apart from my Instagram? And of course, posting on YouTube, but I'm not doing no Twitter. I don't like Twitter. Never liked Twitter. And yes, I still call it Twitter because, come on, that was complete bullshit with the whole buying it over thing and Elon, and yeah, that with the AI thing he's got going on there, which started going crazy. People are messing with it. I don't know. Let's stay away from that. But yeah, I am on the Instagram if you guys don't already follow that. But I will. I'm pretty active on there. Apart from that, yeah, I guess that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. Not a super long video. I try to make. I thought about making some shorter ones because part two was like 57 minutes. But yeah, like I said, what's up with the bullshit tours, the fake tech death bands, and I don't know, social media bullshit? What's up with all that? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, catch you guys later. Stay brutal.